represent Tier 2 lenders as well. Tier 2 lenders like to lend folks money who have bumped and bruised credit. Bad credit sometimes you hear about. Okay, credit scores between 545 and 675. They may not have to have money down to get you approved, but they like to have those scores. Okay, they deal with people that have fresh bankruptcies. Okay, people who've been through divorce, lost a job, had bad credit for a while, and got themselves back on their feet a little bit, but are trying to get an auto loan. Okay, they want to have people that have at least $1,800 a month income or more. They want 2 years of job time and 2 years of residency. There's occasions where you may have moved to a different job, but in the same field. A lot of times that very well may still qualify. Okay, here's the trick part though. They want to have 3 lines of credit. They like to know that you've had a car loan recently, either paid off or still have, or they want to have 2 or 3 more credit cards. But usually 3 lines of credit that you currently have to have. Now these lenders are a little, you got to be cautious of them. When I say cautious of them, they want you to borrow more money. They like loans between $12,000, $15,000, or $20,000. They like to extend the terms out 72, 84, or 92 months. Okay, be cautious when you go too long of a term because you end up paying far more for the car than what it's worth. Okay, for example, if you go to a Tier 2 lender, okay, their minimum amount to finance is $12,000. I've given you 2 examples right here. Okay. By the time you take a $12,000 car, you're out the door at $13,100. Okay, I've figured out 24.5 or 15.5. If you do this, if you enter into this type of loan, is what I need to know from you is that whether or not you want me to try to get you a loan through these banks. If you take a payment of $348 a month times 72 months, you end up paying back $25,000 for that car. That's nearly double the price of the car. Okay, if it's 15.5, far lower of an interest rate, you end up paying $20,000 for a $12,000 car. Far better deal, but still, the term of the loan is what you got to be cautious about. Okay, they like to allow you to have long terms. What's most frustrating about these banks, though, is 3 years later. Remember, 80% of all the interest that's paid in any loan is always paid in the first 2/3 of the loan. So when you come back 3 years later, you owe $348 times 36 months. You still have $12,528 worth of remaining payments. At 15.5%, same scenario, you come back 3 years later, you still have $10,080 worth of remaining payments. The deal with Tier 2 lenders is you have to make a commitment to keep the car for at least 4 years. If you decide that you want to trade it in earlier than that, then you're going to have yourself in a negative equity position, meaning you owe far more on the car than what you're going to get on trade. However, the nice thing about these banks is they give you nicer, newer, lower mile cars. So, and that's their rationale for doing so, is because, hey, I'll give them a loan, but I want them to borrow more money because it's a lower mile, a newer car. Okay. Now, if you'd like me to get you a loan through a Tier 2 lender, click on the credit application below for me to get started.